Hello, everyone. So I'm on here, first go round on the YouTube channel, and just wanted to share some things with you all. So I'm brand new to this, but I know I've been pushed to get on here and encourage and uplift and inspire someone, and really just share my some of my life experiences. Who I am, what I've been through, and what I've learned from it. And so coming on here to Um, let me put a disclaimer first that, again, this is my channel, my experiences, my opinions, my life lessons, and how I perceive them. So I realize everybody is not for everybody. So if this channel is not for you and we don't click, then we don't click. But if we click, cool, stay on here. Um, so I wanted to share just about fighting through fear in a way that I feel like most people battle with, because, sometimes you see where people say, do it afraid. You're going to always have some fear or some nervousness, and just get past the nervousness and do it afraid. And sometimes I would be like, dang, that seems so easy to say. Easy for you to say. You already up there. You good. You didn't press past the challenge. But then there are other times where you know that when you see situations like that, that person is just really speaking to you, and you know that there's a place you have to press past. But it also comes from a place where you know that you have some battles that you have to address, or some inner issues that you have to contest with. And so I know for me, I had battled for years, had to be starting middle school. I remember it, sixth grade. I had first moved from, a neighborhood that was predominantly, well, yeah, it was predominantly white. We were the only black family in that whole area where I stayed at. And I was the only black child throughout elementary school. Me and my brother were the only two children in elementary school. And so we went from that place up until the age of, I was 12, from the time of 12. So when I at 12, I moved out to the suburbs, where all of a sudden I saw, um, you know, black and white. And I had never really been exposed to um, a great deal of black people. So I was in culture shock. Like, I saw these black girls and all these different beautiful shades. And I saw these guys and all these different beautiful shades and shapes. And I was like, and it was a culture shock for me. So on top of the culture shock, there was also like some intimidation, and then there was some comparison and some contrast. So I'm looking at other girls, I'm looking at myself, and I'm comparing. And I believe it started there, that the self-esteem I became started to battle with that. And so it literally took me all throughout my high school. I battled with it then. And because I remember through middle school, there were guys that I liked, even in high school, guys that I liked in my high school and middle school, and none of them liked me. None of them. None. I was always the cool, funny, and I was like, what? I mean, I'm all right with being cool and funny, but what about, you don't want to date me? But I believe, I truly believe, and I've never heard it from any of the guys that I was interested in, but I just truly believe that it was um, my confidence level. I wasn't confident in who I was, just as a human being, let alone as a girl. I wasn't confident in my femininity. I wasn't confident as a human, and that's needed at an early age. And so that I carried that throughout middle school, high school, and even going through college, and even in my 20s, 30s, and 40s. So don't ask me how old I am, but it wasn't until I hit my mid 40s that I realized, why am I letting people sway who I am or even put a period where God is putting a comma. And first of all, these women don't know I'm comparing myself to them because as women, that's what we do. You look at another woman and you say, she pretty. Or you look at another woman and say, oh, she got this, or oh, she do this. Or, I remember when I was single, I would look at other women and be like, oh man, they look like they happy. And it wasn't until God just gave me revelation and I started talking to other women that would be very open to me about their life that you realize that you never know what people are going through. And some of the most beautiful women I've found have some of the deepest struggles with insecurity and low self esteem. And it completely blew my mind. And I realized, wow, there's not a vast difference, but everybody's experience is different. Because a lot of women have this battle. I don't care how old you are, how, um, if you even if you're been blissfully married for years, there's still some things that we all work on, we all battle with, we all need help with. And um, I feel like it was important to just get on and just kind of encourage you to say that you're not alone, number one. Um, People need encouragement and to know that they're not alone. Like if someone has battled this and they've gotten through it, someone's battled this and someone is battling it and they just need that encouragement. And so, you know, I I know that my life would have been different. It would have went a different way had I had more self-esteem. Had my self-esteem been higher, had I been more confident, had I been more sure of who I am, my life would have been a completely different way. I'm blessed now. I am blessed. I have a beautiful husband. I have good children. Of course, parenting, they're challenging at times, but they're good children from the heart. And I am still uncovering, still pulling off layers, still figuring out more and more about myself as I grow older. Every time I talk to women, something else comes out. Every time I talk to my husband, anytime I, share things on social media or things are shared with me, it gives me an opportunity to show that love back, to encourage, and I found that the more I talk with other women, the more I even talk to myself, the more I take that time in prayer or, and just allow God to minister to me, I realize, that this is a process. So just let me be clear, like my experience has been, it didn't take me overnight to become insecure or to have that self-esteem. It took years. And so it's going to take a while for that to break off of you as you unfold things, because see, first you have to have the courage to do it. So if there are things in your life that you struggle with, whether it be financially, how you be like, dang, I keep trying to get over this hump financially and I can't break through. What is going on? Dig deep. If it's like, dang, every relationship is the same dude, like doing the same thing, and this ain't working. You have to dig deep in yourself and find out why that's not working. Because best believe, if you're attracting the same guy, it ain't him. It's you. And you need to be honest as to why that's you. What are you attracting and why are you attracting it? I had to go through the same thing. Like, okay, God, these guys, same guys? Like what? You know. Okay. And it wasn't until I remember I surrendered and just said, you know what, God, I'm not doing this no more. I'm good. And I'm paraphrasing, but these are almost my words. I was like, I'm good. I was like, I don't want to date nobody. Don't hook me up with nobody. I had divorced and I was like, I'm done. I'm going to raise my boys. I'm going to go get my MBA. I'm going to finish school. I'm going to take care of my children. I'll probably have like a corporate job, get a house. Boom. I'm good. I don't want to date. I don't even want to get married no more. And I guess he finally said, oh, okay, good. You finally surrendered? Okay. Now I can do what I want to do. And literally, the next day is when I met my husband that I'm married to now. So I'm telling you, in surrendering and just saying, okay, God, I've been doing this wrong. I clearly I can't pick them. So I'm gonna go ahead and let you do it because I'm 20 plus 25 plus years trying to pick them and not doing good. Heart keep getting broken and I'm already and didn't really realize how deep you're struggling with the low self-esteem and with the insecurity. Like it's not until you get sometimes, I mean, some people reach it older, like it's some 25-year-old girls who you can't tell them nothing. They know who they are, they confident, they good, they strong, you know. Other women it takes them years. And I think that that's beautiful. Like, and I used to envy that. Be like, "Dang, how's she so confident? Like what where she get that confidence from? Like, dang, for her to walk like that and talk like that and just know who she is and what she want to do. I'm like, oh, I need that. And I'm saying that to myself in my 30s. Like, you know. And so that was when I realized even more day by day. It was after the divorce where I said, okay, God, why am I going through this? Why the same guys? Why the same or just why did I go through the marriage the way I went through it? Um but and that's a whole nother story, but I wrote and I have a book. So yay, I'm an author, super excited about that. But in that book, I was able to kind of pull out a little bit of what I've done and what I've gone through. And just, to show that you can go through it though. That's the thing. It's like when you're in it, I know how that feels because when you're in it, you feel like sometimes you're not gonna make it through that. I've been there where I felt like I was not going to make it through. I was like, okay, God, you know what? This marriage right here, hmm, I was ready to just, you know, but God said, not so, because you got a work to do. There's something greater for you. You just got to press past it. Stay with me, stick with me, press past it, press. So I pressed, got that divorce, and it freed me, but I still wasn't completely free. And that's when things began to um, develop and I became enlightened about my life. And I'm definitely not on here to encourage anybody to, get a divorce, ding. Everybody's relationship is different. Everybody's experience is different. I'm just sharing with you how mine's was because I've heard of experiences where, the husband and wife, they may have been in a bad place, but when they really made up their mind to say, we doing this, they got together and they did it. They went to counseling, they talked about it, they made it happen, and they found things in their lives in their past that they thought was no issue wound up being a really, really big issue. So, I am pro counseling. Like counseling has helped me in my single life, in my married life, and it's helped me just think about things from a different perspective because sometimes when you talk to the same people all the time you get the same results or you don't really get that different perspective because there is a biasness there because they're either your friends or family. So um I encourage you, if you're in a place where you're still struggling with self-esteem, you still battling with insecurities, you got to find out where that lies and where you find where that is, and you got to dig deep. And I'm telling you now, it's not going to be easy, only because there's walls you didn't built up over the years. You built those walls up, and I'm not saying other people didn't attribute to those walls being built, but as a grown woman, you now have the authority and you now have the decision making process to change it. You're grown. Push past the pain. Talk about it with somebody so that you can heal. Your healing process comes when you talk to other people who can uplift you, encourage you, help you, guide you, um, whether it be a pastor, whether it be friends, whether it be someone you can trust, though, to share that with. And then don't be afraid to um, Cry. You got to cry it out sometimes. There's just so much that comes from surrendering to God and saying yes to Him. Surrendering to Him and saying, there's more to life than this, God. I got to break through this because if you know, and I'm talking to those that where every time you take 3 steps forward, you just feel this pull, and it's like nobody in particular is pulling you, but then you come to find out that that person that's pulling back is you. It's out of fear, out of insecurity, out of low self esteem, out of, oh, what if I'm not successful? But what if you are? Oh, what if people say things about me? Well, people gonna talk regardless. And those were a couple of things I had to fight through. So I'm just sharing with you some of the things that I've had to kind of battle with just to get here on this channel today. Um, this is not, I'm a private person. I've always been one of those behind the scenes type. I'm real good with that. But to get out here, to share, to be transparent, um, it's just what God has pulled me to. And so I'm going to do that. And I'm hoping that this channel is to really encourage, to bless, to uplift, to inspire you to be better, to want more, to do more, because you were created for a purpose. It's not to be your own self-sabotage doormat or for anybody to be anybody else's doormat, but for you to find who you are, to strengthen who you are so that you can rise above the obstacles that have been placed in your way, whether they be mental or whether they're actually natural, and to just come into that place where God can use you, and so he can re-energize you, and he can calibrate you to get into that place where you just on fire, and you making it happen, and you're walking in that confidence, you walking in that boldness, and you're like, I know who I am. You ain't got to be arrogant. Don't be arrogant. Stay humble, but walk with that boldness that says, God has gifted me, and I'm going to tell you this is how God has gifted me. Share it with somebody. Your healing process is for His glory, and it's a testimony so that you can just share it with people to help them get through. Because there is another side to this. It's another side that you got to get through the process. God is with you. If you're watching this right now, it's because He needs you to watch it. So that means there's a process that you're either into or you're getting out of or you're going into. But God is there with you. Excuse me. He's there with you, and He cares for you. And so sent me to encourage you. And I hope that I've done that. I hope that it has helped you in some way. So just um, see me next time. I'm sure I have something else to talk about. And I'm just stay encouraged. You got this. I'll see you soon.